A breaking report from Ken Rosenthal suggests that the Toronto Blue Jays might actually be putting Alex Manoah on the trade block, and the report suggests that the Jays will be shopping Alex Manoah this offseason. So you're going to want to stay tuned for that in this episode of Jays Digest, as well as Matt Chapman. We have an update on his front regarding a couple of other teams that could be looking to pursue the former Jays third baseman. So stay tuned for what's coming up next. What's up, Jays fans? Nick Gosse, your host of Jays Digest. We have a lot to discuss today as on this Sunday morning, a breaking report from Ken Rosenthal came to fruition, highlighting an Alex Manoah potential trade. But before we get into that, a quick reminder to hit the subscribe button. We noticed about 70% of you guys who are watching right now are not subscribed, and we're super close to our goal of 10,000 subscribers. Your support's been unbelievable, so scroll down. If you're not subscribed, click that button. It would mean the world to me and Peter, and thank you guys for your support and your continued interaction with us on our channel. All right, let's get right into the video today. Now, if you remember back a couple weeks ago, I believe it's a couple weeks ago, I'm losing track of time here with the way this offseason is flying by. Ben Nicholson-Smith made an article about potential trades to the Blue Jays, and he kind of kept highlighting Alex Manoah, and we kind of took that as, does he know something we don't regarding around the Jays potentially trading Manoah? And that is the case. Our speculation seemed to be at least partially right, as Manoah is officially on the trade block, at least to some degree, according to Ken Rosenthal. So here's the exact article dropped today. It says, some rival executives basically discuss how, in order to avoid charges of tampering, he won't name the sources, say that the Blue Jays are open to moving right-hander Alex Manoah. How open remains to be seen, but I mean, that itself is a huge bit of news. The Blue Jays are, quote, open to moving Alex Manoah, and the relationship between Manoah and the Jays appeared to deteriorate last season when the pitcher regressed from a stellar 2022 Cy Young campaign. And Manoah was 25, twice was sent to the minors, and received some injections to his right arm this offseason, or to end the season. So this is huge news. So the big thing here from Ken Rosenthal is that, the relationship seems to be torn, whether it's torn beyond repair, he doesn't mention. He doesn't know how open the Jays are going to be to necessarily, trading him. And what essentially he's saying is the Jays are shopping him, but they will not give him up most likely unless it's for an absolute haul. They're not actively trying to trade him, but he is on the block for other teams to inquire about him. I absolutely hate this for the Toronto Blue Jays for a variety of reasons. Me and Peter have discussed this in the past, and Peter, I believe, shares the same kind of mindset about this, and most Jays fans, I feel like, do. I do not want to see the Blue Jays trade Alex Manoah this offseason. He is at his lowest point of value that he has in his entire career, even dating back to when he was a top prospect for the team. Obviously, he had a Cy Young caliber season in 2022. He's a Cy Young finalist, and then last year he had a 5+ ERA approaching 6. I think the worst qualified pitcher in baseball. Now, if this relationship is broken beyond repair, then you might have to move him if he demands a trade, if he requests a trade. But other than that, I would not trade Alex Manoah. I would make him pitch for the Blue Jays again, get his value up a little bit more, because we know what his kind of ceiling is here. And it goes on to say that GM Ross Atkins talked boldly about Manoah back in the GM meeting, saying the right to have a strong leg up regarding the 5th starter spot. And the Jays' rotation depth is obviously promising. The team need for position players seemingly would make a move possible, and Atkins mentioned Bowden Francis, Mitch White, and Wes Parsons as alternatives for the rotation. So that's another interesting thing there. If you read the bottom paragraph again, the team's need for position players seemingly would make a move possible. So he's kind of highlighting that the Jays might be interested in, like Ben Nicholson-Smith said back in his article, and he's as tuned in as you can get, the Jays could be looking to maybe trade Alex Manoah for a position player, a left-handed bat, an outfielder, for example, Dylan Carlson. Now, Dylan Carlson does not excite me whatsoever, and we can discuss some potential trades here, but I would not enjoy a Dylan Carlson trade. Lars Nootbaar might be a bit easier to swallow. He has a lot of power from the left-handed side. He's a very, very good hitter. But when you're looking at an Alex Manoah trade, this guy a year ago, we were discussing on this channel about how he would be one of the number one guys to extend Alex Manoah before this season started, and now it's the polar opposite. And it's very, very unfortunate. And this also goes to mention, Ricky Tiedemann, his kind of emergence. And I wonder how much that's being taken into account regarding the Toronto Blue Jays' current position with Alex Manoah. Because if they believe that Ricky Tiedemann can be that pitcher who even may start the team or start the season with the big league club following his amazing Arizona Fall League performance where he won Pitcher of the Year, then the need for Alex Manoah dwindles a little bit, especially when you have Bowden Francis and other guys like that. But again, I think it would be poor asset management if you do trade Alex Manoah, strictly for the fact that you're not going to get the return that you would want for a guy who has such a high ceiling that Alex Manoah has. We know his ceiling is a potential Cy Young candidate, not necessarily a Cy Young winner, but a Cy Young candidate. He doesn't have super electric stuff, but he's a dog. He gives you a lot of innings. And I think it was a matter of him, the pitch clock messing him up, him coming in a little bit maybe out of shape, underprepared, and overworked, combining 200 innings in his big league career and not even surpassing like 100 innings in college. So the Manoah situation is super weird. And you can look at this. He almost 300 innings, between 2021 and 2022. So, and he had not accumulated very many innings at all in college. So his arm was clearly overworked. His slider wasn't moving nearly to the degree that you would want it to. And I agree with this sentiment here. And this is what most Jays fans that I've seen online on Twitter, and that's my mindset as well, is that the Jays are going to lose any potential Manoah trade. Returner's going to be tough after the year he had, and he's 1 year removed from the Cy Young. Give him another chance. And I agree with that. Not only give him another chance, let him build his value back up. Let him, after a year with, again, in this case, last season, he had limited innings, only 87 innings. So he had a chance for his arm to regenerate. We've seen Instagram posts of him at the gym, him working out. If he gets into better, game shape, mental shape, everything, physical shape, all of it. And then he comes back with a rested arm, a new person, a new pitcher, and he can just do what he did in 2021, 2022 when he was a dominant pitcher. Then you're fine. If you want to trade him then, you probably wouldn't want to because he's a young ace. But then you can go ahead and trade him, or at least build his value up a little bit, because if you're trading him off a season where he's the worst qualified pitcher in the Major League Baseball league, what are we doing at that point? Because, I don't know. I hate it. Peter hates it. It just doesn't make sense if you're the Toronto Blue Jays to give up on a guy this early. Don't like it. I agree with this person. You're going to lose. You're most likely going to lose. If you trade into the Cardinals to Dylan Carlson, you know what you're getting with Carlson. You know what you're getting from Nootbaar. Manoah he could be one of the worst. His career could be over, and it could just be a horrible pitcher for the rest of his career. But there's a more likely chance that he returns to at least a functional third, fourth, fifth starter for the Cardinals with the potential to be an ace going forward on a very cheap contract, still on his rookie deal. I don't want to see a trade happen, but according to this report, I guess the Jays want to shore up their rotation. Again, a lot of this has to do with how they believe Ricky Tiedemann's going to do. Maybe their potential offseason plans. Are they acquiring Cody Bellinger? They are trying to acquire Shohei Ohtani. Maybe Yoshinobu Yamamoto, I pronounced that right. If they get Yamamoto, then, maybe you wouldn't need a spot for Alex Manoah, because obviously Yoshinobu Yamamoto is unbelievable, one of the best pitchers. He's going to get hundreds of millions of dollars, or $100+ million. So all that depends on the moves that are going to happen going forward. So let me know in the comment section what your thoughts are on that. And I hate it. Wanted to do a little quick rant about it because it makes no sense to me following this breaking report. But let's do a quick Matt Chapman update here. Obviously, if you tuned into our video a couple days ago, I believe it was a couple days ago, the Jays are interested in bringing back Matt Chapman, or making a, quote, big push for the former Platinum Glover. And this came out from an article today, and it's not too much revolving around the Blue Jays, but the Giants are heavily in on Matt Chapman, as well as the Yankees and Giants are co-favorites now to sign Cody Bellinger. So, again, the Giants are going for Matt Chapman, and if you're interested in that Cody Bellinger update, the Jays aren't seen to be co-favorites. Again, none of this is all speculation at this point. The Jays weren't favorites for George Springer, they got him. They weren't favorites for Gosse, they got him. They weren't favorites for Ryu, they got him. So this favorite stuff doesn't really matter. I don't suspect many of these moves to happen until Shohei Ohtani signs over the next few weeks. But I did want to point that out there, that it seems like the Giants keep getting brought up in these Matt Chapman contract talks. So the Jays, if they do want to go back for Matt Chapman, which I also don't really want, depending on the deal, the Giants are going to be a big player in that. So I just wanted to bring that up there. But that'll wrap up the video. Just wanted to get that report out to you guys. It's a bit of a wild one. I don't want to see them trade Alex Manoah. Let me know in the comment section if you would be willing to trade Alex Manoah. And if you were, what kind of level of player would you be willing to, would you want to acquire back in a trade for the former ace? Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.